Can a $19 billion plan truly transform New York's JFK Airport into a modern marvel? As one of the busiest airports in the world, JFK has long struggled with outdated facilities and congestion.
JFK is the worst airport in the country when it comes to dealing with luggage.
At JFK Airport, a temporary system outage at customs left travelers waiting for hours in security line.
Now, a massive overhaul aims to revitalize this iconic gateway. But what does this ambitious project entail, and how will it impact travelers and the city? Let's dive into the details of the bold plan to save JFK Airport. Now, New York City is the epitome of a world-class metropolis, renowned for its towering skyscrapers, vibrant culture, and bustling streets. But is it largest airport? Not so much. JFK has gained quite a notorious reputation among travelers, from being ranked the worst airport for luggage handling to incidents like a temporary customs outage that left passengers stranded for hours and a water main break that flooded Terminal 4, it's safe to say JFK has seen better days.
A water main break flooded most of Terminal 4 at JFK International Airport yesterday.
JFK was celebrated as one of the top airports in the country. It boasted modern facilities and cutting-edge design and handled more international traffic than any other airport in the world. Originally called Idlewild Airport, it opened in 1948 to relieve congestion at LaGuardia, featuring 6 runways and 5 architecturally stunning terminals. The airport quickly became the first to serve passenger jets, marking its place as a pioneer in aviation. But over the years, JFK's glory began to fade. Outdated facilities, frequent delays, and a chaotic layout turned the once proud airport into a source of frustration for many. However, there's a new chapter on the horizon for JFK, one that promises to restore its former prestige. One of the major complaints about JFK is its disjointed layout, which often leads to confusion and long walks between terminals. The overhaul includes a complete redesign of the airport's layout, creating a more cohesive and easily navigable space. This means shorter walking distances, better signage, and improved accessibility for all travelers. But perhaps the most exciting part of the overhaul is the construction of a brand new terminal. This new terminal will be a game changer for JFK, offering modern architecture, cutting-edge technology, and a seamless travel experience. With larger gate areas, more efficient security checkpoints, and advanced baggage handling systems, this terminal is set to become the crown jewel of JFK. The goal of this $19 billion project is clear: to take JFK back to new heights and reclaim its status as a world-class aviation center. It's a bold vision, but one that is already underway, with construction happening as we speak. So, why should you care about this overhaul? Well, if you've ever traveled through JFK, you know the struggles all too well. But beyond that, this project is a testament to the importance of investing in infrastructure. Airports are gateways to the world, and a world-class city like New York deserves a world-class airport. So, what went wrong? Unlike most airports where terminals are controlled by a central operator and connected through a unified area, JFK operates differently. It originally had 6 disconnected terminals, 5 of which are still active, each managed by different airlines. This makes transferring between terminals a nightmare, especially during layovers. To make matters worse, the terminals are numbered 1 through 8, with a few missing numbers adding to the confusion. For years, travelers have dreaded passing through JFK, but with a projected 100 million annual passengers by 2050, city officials finally decided it was time to act. Enter the $19 billion transformation plan, which aims to turn JFK into a unified, interconnected, world-class airport. At the heart of this ambitious project is the new Terminal 1. Spanning 2.5 million square feet with 23 gates, it will be nearly the size of LaGuardia's 2 new terminals combined, making it JFK's largest terminal. This expansion will give global airlines the flexibility to upgrade aircraft as needed, ensuring they can meet the growing demand. The new Terminal 1 will boast new departures, arrivals, and customs hall, complete with state-of-the-art public spaces, amenities, and advanced technology. This includes the use of biometrics to provide a seamless experience through the airport, reducing wait times and enhancing security. The terminal will also feature a solar array thanks to a partnership with Alpha Structure, making it more sustainable and environmentally friendly. Set to be completed in phases, the new Terminal 1 is expected to be finished by 2030, with new halls and a portion of the gates ready by 2026. But that's not all. Terminal 6 will also undergo a massive transformation, stretching 1.2 million square feet across a 2-level concourse. This terminal will feature a giant new check-in space and a centralized security area, reducing the need for passengers to drag their luggage far. The East Hall will house additional dining and retail facilities, ultimately connecting to Terminal 5 and making connections between the two seamless. Construction of Terminal 6 is expected to finish around 2028. None of this regeneration would be possible without the engineering teams behind it. Parsons Corporation, today's video sponsor, is the lead designer for the reconstruction of roadways, the new ground-to-transportation center, and the relocation of utilities to provide more reliable service for the airport. This alone will cost $1.24 billion. The goal of this ambitious project is clear: to restore JFK to its former glory and beyond. This overhaul will not only enhance the travel experience, but also boost tourism and business opportunities for New York City. A world-class city deserves a world-class airport, and this project is a testament to that vision. Parsons Corporation, the engineering powerhouse behind this project, is set to simplify roadway operations and create a more travel-friendly experience for the 62 million passengers who pass through JFK annually. One of the highlights is the modern ground transportation center, which will include a new multi-level parking facility. This facility will feature EV charging stations and an eco-conscious timber facade. Additionally, a 400-foot-long elevated pedestrian bridge will link key areas, complemented by a rainwater harvesting facility and solar paneling. Parsons is passionate about delivering smart infrastructure that enhances global connectivity. Their expertise ranges from traditional program and construction management to digital solutions, PFAS decontamination, and more, ensuring comprehensive solutions that optimize project delivery and operations while improving the traveler experience worldwide. But let's get back to JFK. The modernization isn't limited to the construction of new terminals. The existing ones will also see significant upgrades, including new shops, restaurants, and overall enhancements. However, the outdated terminals are just part of the problem. One of the biggest issues JFK faces is the disjointed connection between its facilities. To address this, JFK Airport is reconfiguring its entire roadway transportation network. New roads, bridges, and enhanced traffic technologies will make it easier for travelers to navigate between terminals. A key improvement is the reduction of roadway loops from 5 to 2 main loops, simplifying navigation for drivers and reducing congestion. Included in this redesign is a new multi-level parking facility with nearly 2,000 spaces and an eco-friendly timber exterior. A 400-foot pedestrian bridge equipped with rainwater harvesting technology will connect this facility to the new Terminal 1, ensuring that passengers can move seamlessly between parking and the terminal. One of the most significant construction challenges is JFK's location. Surrounded by dense neighborhoods and congested highways, delivering and hauling away materials is a logistical nightmare. Instead of relying solely on trucks, workers are turning to the waterways. Barges carrying rocks and sand will navigate from as far north as the New York Catskills, traveling down the Hudson River and across the bay to a makeshift dock on the western side of the airport. This innovative approach minimizes traffic disruptions and ensures a steady supply of materials. Why should you care about this transformation? If you've ever navigated the chaos of JFK, you know the struggles all too well. But beyond personal convenience, this project underscores the importance of investing in infrastructure. Airports are gateways to the world, and enhancing them can significantly impact the economy and global connectivity. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section. The fascinating world of gold prices and their potential impact on the US dollar. Gold has always been a significant player in the global economy, but recent trends have sparked some intriguing questions. Is the surge in gold prices killing the US dollar? Let's break it down. First off, let's talk about India. Gold is a massive part of Indian culture and economy. Just like the American dream is to own a home, in India, the dream is to own gold. That's more gold than the central banks of the US, Germany, Italy, France, and Russia combined. For perspective, the US holds around 8,100 tons of gold, while Russia holds 2,332 tons. But Indian consumers alone hold a staggering 21,000 tons of gold. Now, in the past 6 months, if you've been watching the markets, you might have noticed something wild happening. The Indian stock market hit $5 trillion, overtaking Hong Kong. At the same time, gold prices in India reached an all-time high, soaring above 70,000 rupees. While the Sensex returned 8.33% and the Nifty 50 nearly doubled with a 99.92% return, gold prices shot up by an astonishing 16.16%. So why is this happening? One key reason is that central banks around the world are on a gold buying spree. Over the past 2 years, they've been stacking up tons of gold. For instance, India recently moved 100 tons of gold back from England. In recent years, India bought 69 tons, China bought a whopping 314 tons, Poland purchased 130 tons, Singapore grabbed 125 tons, and even the Czech Republic added 75 tons to their reserves. This global trend of gold hoarding has driven prices to unbelievable levels. So, why are central banks loading up on gold? What are the global factors at play, and should you consider investing in gold too? Back in the early 20th century, the world had already endured World War I, and by the late 1930s, World War II was in full swing. The infamous Treaty of Versailles, signed after World War I, set the stage for economic turmoil, which eventually contributed to the outbreak of World War II in 1939. The entire world united against Hitler and his regime, leading to the most devastating conflict in human history. At this time, the British Empire was a global superpower with vast colonies spread across the world. However, the economic toll of World War I and World War II had significantly weakened Britain's wealth. By the early 1940s, Britain's debt to GDP ratio had skyrocketed from 25% in 1914 to 220% in 1920, and further to 270% by 1942. Similar economic distress was seen in other major countries like France and the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, the United States played its cards wisely. Initially, the US stayed out of direct involvement in these wars, acting instead as a supplier of essential goods. America, untouched by the war's destruction, became a prosperous land of plenty. Cheap fuel and technological advancements powered a booming economy. American industry was perfectly positioned to dominate both domestic and global markets after the war. Here's where it gets interesting. While other empires were fully engaged in the war, diverting all their resources to the battlefield, the United States focused its capital and manpower on becoming a major supplier. They provided cotton, wheat, brass, rubber, automobiles, machinery, and thousands of other goods to the war-torn countries. This strategy led to one of the greatest economic booms in US history. US exports skyrocketed from $2.4 billion in 1913 to $6.2 billion in 1917. In the 1940s, the world had already experienced the devastation of World War I and was in the midst of World War II. The infamous Treaty of Versailles, which ended WW1, had set the stage for economic turmoil, eventually contributing to the outbreak of WW2 in 1939. By profiting from these costly wars, the US accumulated vast wealth. While other economies lay in ruins, the United States ended up holding 75% of the world's monetary gold. US gold reserves surged from around 2,000 tons in 1910 to nearly 20,000 tons by 1940. This unprecedented wealth set the stage for the United States to solidify its economic dominance. In 1944, the US convened a conference in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, gathering representatives from 44 allied nations. The goal was to establish a new international financial order and promote economic cooperation post-war. This meeting resulted in the Bretton Woods Agreement. Under the Bretton Woods Agreement, these 44 countries agreed to peg their currencies to the US dollar, which was in turn pegged to gold. This arrangement meant that 1 ounce of gold was worth $35, or 28.35 grams of gold equaled $35. The US promised to redeem dollars for gold, effectively backing the dollar with gold. This gave countries confidence in holding US dollars, knowing they could exchange them for gold. So, why did these countries agree to the Bretton Woods Agreement? The main benefit was stability. By pegging their currencies to the US dollar, countries gained a reliable exchange rate system, which facilitated international trade and investment. Additionally, backing the dollar with gold provided a sense of security, as gold was universally recognized as a valuable and stable asset. This system helped the US dollar become the dominant global currency, underpinning international financial stability for decades. The Bretton Woods Agreement laid the foundation for the modern global economy, with the US at its center. The Saudis were not wealthy in the early 1940s because their oil production was just beginning. During World War II, Italy bombed Saudi Arabia, targeting American oil facilities, which hampered the Saudis' ability to produce oil at full capacity. In desperate need of protection, Saudi Arabia sought help from the United States. In 1945, US President Franklin Roosevelt recognized the immense global importance of oil for the coming decades. He held a crucial meeting with the King of Saudi Arabia, resulting in a pivotal deal. The United States agreed to protect Saudi Arabia from future attacks and supply them with military equipment. In return, the Saudi king agreed to sell oil primarily in US dollars. This deal significantly boosted the rise of the Middle East and cemented the US dollar's role as the dominant global currency. By the 1960s, when oil-producing countries formed OPEC, all member nations started selling oil in dollars. However, recent geopolitical events and economic practices have led to a gradual decline in confidence in the US dollar. During the Russia-Ukraine war, the US froze $300 billion of Russian assets and $7 billion of Afghan assets after the Taliban took over. This move alarmed countries like China, which feared similar actions against their $797 billion in US Treasury bonds. As a result, China and other countries started buying large amounts of gold as a hedge against the potential devaluation of their dollar reserves. The US's frequent money printing has also contributed to the declining confidence in the dollar. For example, the US printed nearly $1 trillion during the 2008 recession, $4 trillion in 2020, and about $2 trillion in 2021. This excessive money printing leads to global inflation and reduces the value of the US dollar. Consequently, countries with significant dollar reserves, like China, see their reserves value diminish. Gold, being a finite and non-printable resource, retains its value, making it an attractive option for countries looking to preserve their wealth. The limited availability of gold, enough to fit in a 23-meter cube, ensures its value remains stable. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section.
The 5 Laws of Gold. Wealth Lessons from the Richest Man in Babylon. Have you ever wondered if there's a timeless formula for building wealth? What if ancient wisdom could unlock the secrets to financial stability and success? In 1926, George S. Clason published The Richest Man in Babylon, a book of parables offering invaluable lessons about money and wealth. These lessons, told through the experiences of the richest man in Babylon, Akkad, have become pillars of financial wisdom that are still relevant today. In this video, we'll break down the 5 laws of gold, rules that, when followed, can help you grow your wealth and secure your financial future. Let's dive in. The story of Arcad and his friends. The story begins with Bansir, a skilled chariot builder, and Kabi, a talented musician. Despite being the best at their crafts, they found themselves struggling financially. Frustrated by their lack of wealth, they sought the wisdom of their childhood friend, Arcad, the richest man in Babylon. Arcad, unlike his friends, had amassed great fortunes. He spent liberally, gave generously to charity, and yet his wealth kept growing. How did he achieve this? Arcad shared his story, revealing that he too was once poor. He worked as a scribe, copying clay inscriptions for a rich man. One day he made a deal to learn the secrets of wealth in exchange for his labor. The rich man taught him a simple yet powerful principle. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. This lesson became the foundation of Arcad's wealth and is the premise of the 5 laws of gold. Pay yourself first. Arcad's first and most important lesson is to set aside at least 10% of your earnings for yourself. The principle. Gold comes gladly to any man who puts aside not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. The modern lesson. Pay yourself first before spending on bills, rent, or entertainment. Why this works? Many people claim they don't have enough money to save. However, when you carefully analyze your expenses, you'll often find unnecessary expenditures like frequent dining out or subscription services that you don't use. Actionable tip. The moment you receive your paycheck, transfer 10% to a savings or investment account. Over time, this habit will grow your wealth and provide a safety net for emergencies like medical bills, car repairs, or job loss. Start small if needed. Saving even 5% is better than nothing, and gradually work your way up to 10% or more. Consistency matters more than perfection when building this habit. Make your money work for you. The second law emphasizes the importance of investing your savings wisely. The principle. Gold labors diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment. The modern lesson. Once you've saved enough, don't let your money sit idle. Invest it in ways that generate passive income. How to do this? Explore investment options like real estate. Buy rental properties for steady income. Stocks and bonds. Invest in diversified portfolios for long-term growth. Businesses. Fund ventures that offer solid returns. Key advice. Always research before making investments. Treat your money as little soldiers. Send them out to work and bring back more wealth. Even small investments, when consistently nurtured, can grow into significant assets over time. Seek wisdom before investing. Before making any financial decisions, seek advice from experts. The principle. Gold clings to the protection of the owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. The modern lesson. Don't rely on gut feelings or uninformed opinions when investing your hard-earned money. Why this matters? Many people lose money because they invest based on tips from friends, co-workers, or even social media influencers. Without proper research or guidance, these investments often turn out to be scams or poor choices. Actionable tip. Consult financial advisors or seasoned investors before making significant financial moves. Just as you wouldn't trust an amateur to perform surgery, don't trust unqualified sources with your finances. Additionally, educate yourself by reading books, attending workshops, or taking courses on investment strategies. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make sound financial decisions. Avoid investments you don't understand. Arcad warns against investing in unfamiliar ventures or areas where you lack expertise. The principle. Gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar. The modern lesson. If you don't understand how an investment works, don't put your money into it. Example. John, a fictional example, followed the first law of gold for a year and saved $10,000. However, he hastily invested in stocks and real estate based on TV ads and hearsay. Within months, he lost most of his money because he didn't understand these investments. The takeaway: instead of blindly investing, John should have sought guidance from experts or invested in areas where he had knowledge. Pro tip: always do your due diligence. If an investment opportunity seems too good to be true, it probably is. Never rush into a deal without fully understanding the risks and potential rewards. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. The fifth law cautions against chasing unrealistic returns or trusting schemers and gamblers. The principle: gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers. The modern lesson: building wealth takes time and effort. Avoid shortcuts. Example: after losing his savings, John decided to gamble in Las Vegas to recover his losses quickly. As expected, he ended up losing even more money. This highlights the dangers of desperation and poor financial decisions. Key advice: stay disciplined and patient. Real wealth is built through consistent saving, wise investing, and avoiding unnecessary risks. Instead of looking for quick fixes, focus on sustainable strategies that build lasting wealth. Timeless lessons from Babylon. The 5 laws of gold offer a blueprint for financial stability. Pay yourself first. Save at least 10% of your income. Make your money work for you. Invest in opportunities that generate passive income. Seek wisdom before investing. Consult experts and avoid uninformed decisions. Avoid unfamiliar ventures. Stick to investments you understand. Steer clear of quick schemes. Be patient and disciplined. These lessons have stood the test of time, helping millions build wealth. Why these lessons matter today. In our fast-paced, consumer-driven world, it's easy to fall into financial traps like overspending or chasing risky investments. The lessons from the richest man in Babylon remind us to prioritize long-term growth and stability over instant gratification. Practical steps to get started. Set up automatic savings. Use apps or bank features to transfer 10% of your paycheck to a separate account. Educate yourself. Read books, take courses, or follow trusted financial advisors to improve your understanding of money management. Network with experts. Surround yourself with people who have achieved financial success and learn from their experiences. Additionally, practice patience and consistency. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. By implementing these principles, you can create a more secure financial future for yourself and your family. Conclusion: a path to wealth. The parables in The Richest Man in Babylon may be ancient, but their wisdom is timeless. By following the 5 laws of gold, you can build a solid foundation for financial freedom and success. Call to action. Which of these laws will you start practicing today? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more wealth-building tips and insights.